This video is for part 1 of the final exam. The first part of the code I am going to describe today is what happens when a user selects a category. He knows as this is a category and you select it like this, and it brings you to the products of the category. The first thing the code does is go to the URL.py and uses the URL resolver like in this PowerPoint slide. The request comes to start from the web user and it goes to the URL resolver, which then goes to the views.py. And then the code executes views.py and it returns the HTML or JavaScript. We then open up the catalog URLs.py, and when you go to the category URL, you can see it maps to the function show category in the catalog views.py. And then there's the function show category, which has a request, category select template name, and it uses the template category, the HTML. And the function has the products, which is the customer, the category products, page title, the category name, the keywords, the description, and returns a response, and the template passes out variables, dictionary. So it uses the category, the HTML file as a template, and then the views.py inserts the specific information for each category, like the brass instruments category, for example. You have the title, you have the specific products. The next part of the code I'm going to discuss is how to select a product, like this. The brass instruments category, and we want to select the trumpet, and it comes up. What goes on is that when you go to the product URL, in the URLs.py, it maps to a function called show product in the catalog views.py file. The show product function in the catalog views.py uses the product.html as a template for her to fill in the specific information for each product. As the show product function, it gives you the category using the product categories that's in the page title, keywords, description. And it has an if and an else logic in it because it will detect if the requesting it is posting or is a get. If it is a post, that means it is posting the form, which is the product add to cart form, which will be described later, to the web server. But what we want is a get, which will just create a empty product add to cart form with just a quantity of 1, like it is shown on the website. When you want to add a product to your cart, you need to fill in the product add to cart form, which is the form that is right here. Here is the product add to cart form as the quantity with the standard value being 1, as the product slug, and the custom validation check for the cookies, and if it doesn't you move on. And when you press submit, we'll just do it with 1 and we add to the cart. When you do that, the show product function in the catalog views.py text that there is a post, and it checks to see if the form is valid, like the quantity is not negative. Then the form posts to the server. Then it uses the cart, add to cart request to add the products to the cart. And the add to cart function is in the cart.py file. Here it is. It posts the data, gets the product slug, gets the quantity, it gets the objects. It checks to see if the item is already in the cart. And it uses for logic to see if the item is not already in the cart. And if it's not, it creates a new cart item, the cart item class. I'm just looking on the cart folder models.py, and it's the cart ID, the date added, the quantity, and the product. One of the important things about creating a cart is the cart ID, and there is a function in the cart.py which checks to see if there is a cart ID. The cart ID is a ID which identifies each separate cart that's ever been used in the e-com store. And if this function will detect if there is a cart ID within the session, and if there is one, then it will return the current card ID. But if there is not one, it will use the generate card ID function to create one randomly using all these characters and use a random string index to go, and it will return the card ID. The last function is to get card items, which will get card items that you want in your cart. After the form is posted, the URL resolver from the cart URLs.py maps to a function in the ecomstore.cart.views file called showCart. And the showCart function, using the cart.html as a template, shows you your cart. It uses if logic to detect if there is a post and whether it's submitting a remove or an update, and it shows you, it gets the cart items, it gives you the page title of the shopping cart, and it gives you your subtotal, which you can see here. If you want to update or remove it from your cart, you will use the update and remove cart functions. In each function, when the data is posted, they create a copy and make sure to get the item ID for each individual item quantity that's removing or updating. And it uses if logic to either update the cart or remove or delete the items from the cart, like this, or remove it. The next thing we did was to create flat pages to store static HTML content. We added the flat pages to the installed apps and middleware classes, and we created a HTML default file for it and added it using the admin site. And I added it to the contact portion of the website using the step-by-step as a placeholder.